Hi, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this floral letterhead in Word. So the first thing you need to decide is whether you want to create this design in the headers and footers, which means it'll be automatically copied over into page 2, 3, 4, etc. Or you simply want to just create it for one page. So I'm going to create mine in the headers and footers because then it will copy over to additional pages and I think it will answer a lot more questions. So the first thing I need to do is to enter the headers and footers. So I'm just going to double click at the top of my page. And as you can see, we're now in the headers and footers. Now you do not need to create your design where this line cuts off here. Your design can go anywhere on this page. As long as it's created in the headers and footers, it doesn't matter where your design lies. So let's go and get some graphics. So I'm just going to quickly hop onto the internet to my favorite website, Pixabay. So if you go to pixabay.com, and in here I'm going to search for green leaves floral, and then in the images dialog I'm just going to go to vector graphics, and then you can see that you've got a range of different options. You don't have to choose the one that I'm choosing, but you can go through this and click on whichever one you want to use to create your letterhead. But I'm going to use this one because, as you can see, we've got a top edge and a bottom edge. So if we click on that one and just go to free download, I normally go to the highest quality one here and click download. Let's go back to our design. Let's go to insert, pictures, picture from file. I'll just go down to my downloads and click on this design here and click insert. Now because we want two of these and we're going to crop them, we've got to copy and paste this particular design. Before we do that, you'll find that if you try and move this, you won't be able to. So right click, go down to wrap text and select in front of text, and now you'll be able to move it around your page. So all we're going to do now is copy and paste it. You can do that by Command or Control C, deselect, and then Command or Control V, and then you'll have two of them. Or, let me just delete that. What I like to do is select my image, hold down my Alt or Option key and click and drag. That's the easiest way to copy and paste. So what we'll do is deselect them. Don't try and click in this area here because all you're going to do is go back and out of headers and footers. Always click at the top here to deselect anything. So select one of the images, go to picture format and go to crop. You can see we've got these black markers around the edge, and all we want to do is hover the cursor over the bottom one, click and drag it all the way up to the bottom edge of that design, go back and just click crop again. And that will be for our bottom. Click on this one, do exactly the same, go to crop, go all the way down, there we go, and select crop. What we actually need to do is just simply swap those over. So this one will lie at the top here. Again, you can place this anywhere you like. Move it over more, or you can put it in the middle, over to the left, completely up to you. So I'm going to pop mine about there. Perfect. Now the one thing you need to be mindful is when you come out of the headers and footers, when you start to type, you'll see that your cursor's at the top here. So if I want to start to type, it's all the way at the top there. You're going to have to either press the return key to start typing, or you can go over to your rulers. If you can't see your rulers, go to view and select rulers. Hover your cursor between the grey and white section here. You'll see it changes. Just click and drag that margin down, and you'll see that your cursor now starts here where you can now begin to type. So let's go back into the headers and footers. Double click at the top, and now I'm going to insert my logo. Go to insert, picture, picture from file. I'm just going to go all the way down, select this one and click insert. Again, when an image is inserted, you can't move it. So again, we right click, go down to wrap text, in front of text. And now we can move that anywhere we want to. I'll just pop that up there. We can come back and check the alignment of everything at the end, but for now we'll just pop that up there. Now what you'll also need for your letterhead is all your details that normally lie at the bottom. You can put them at the top if you want to, but I'm going to pop them down at the bottom. So I'm going to go to Insert, Text Box, click on the drop down and select Draw Text Box. And I'm going to actually edit it up here and then move it down. And the reason is because when you sometimes come to, so if I want to zoom in now, if you do this at the bottom, often when you press the return key or you come out, the whole page jumps back up to the top and it's really irritating. So if I click away from here, you can see that this text box has a border around it. It's also got a white background, so we don't want that. As you can see, I've made a classic mistake and I've clicked on the main area of the document. I've come out of the headers and footers again. So double click back in, click on my text box. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type up my first set of contact details. I'm going to do them all individually and I shall show you why at the end. So I'm just going to paste in some text and then I'm going to move that up. Now for this particular text, I've copied my logo, and if we go to the Home tab, you can see it's bittersweet and it's font 8. I'm going to keep that quite small because it needs to go at the bottom of the page. Now I'm also going to copy and paste this text box. Because my cursor's inside at the moment, I need to deselect it again, deselect it by clicking the headers and footers, reselect it, hold down my Alt or Option key, click and drag. Now I've just noticed I haven't taken off the border lines to my text boxes, which I need to do. So go to Shape Format, go to this icon here, says Shape Outline, click on the drop down and select No Outline. I'm actually going to select these again, copy and paste these again. So again, holding down my Alt key, I'm going to click and drag out 2 more. Now as I go over the top, you can see that white background that I talked about. If you want to take that white background off, go to this icon here saying Shape Fill and then click on the drop down and select No Fill. I'm just going to do that for all of them here, Shape Fill, No Fill. And then if I move them over the top, you can see that white background's now gone and it's completely transparent. So I'm now going to go ahead and put in my telephone number. Okay, so now I've got all my information in. One of the reasons I like to do this all individually, because you might be thinking, well, why don't you just put it all in the same text box? And really, it's because it gives me a lot more customization options. So I can put this as close to that. So I can put these as close as possible or as far away from possible. I know you can use the return key, but sometimes it just doesn't give you the option to move these around as much as you like. Plus the fact you might want to change them and you might want to move these 2 by the side here, or you might want to fit 3 and then fit this one here or alongside, and it just gives you that flexibility to be able to move them around. So to make sure that these are all completely lined up perfectly, I'm going to select them all. So select one and then hold down your Command or Control key and then select all of the other options here or all of the other elements. Go to Shape Format, go to Align, click on the drop down and go to Distribute Vertically. And that means there will be an equal space between all of these address points here. Then go to Align and Align to Left. They'll all be perfectly lined up, and then simply go to Group and select Group. And now you've got your information address bar all in one group. So let's zoom out. And then I'm going to drag that down to the bottom. And then you can put it as far down as possible as you like, or up, it really doesn't matter. As I say, text boxes are so flexible that it just allows you to put any of your text anywhere in your document. There we go, that's about right. So that basically, if I just click in the middle, I know it's greyed out. The reason it's greyed out is because obviously it's in the headers and footers. And if I was to just press my return key all the way down, create another page, you can see it's copied across. Now if I just created all of this just in a document without the headers and footers, you'd have to copy and paste everything from one page over to the next. So that's the reason I've done the headers and footers. So you can see your design now and you can see if you need to make any improvements. So say for example, I think this is a little bit big, so double click at the top here, select the logo, reduce the size of it, and then pop it up here. Double click in the main body of the document. And again, I'm just going to move that over just a little bit. Perfect. So once you've created your letterhead, you can save this as a template. All you do is go to File, Save as Template, name it what you like, make sure it's in Templates here, and then make sure the file format is Microsoft Word template. And then what happens is when you save this, so let's close down this. Now if I go into Word, I can go to New, and then there's Document 3 there, and click Create. And as you can see, I have that saved document. Now, if I was to type now and click Save, it's going to ask me to save it as a brand new document. And the reason for that is because you've opened a template. Now you've typed in it, it's a bit like opening a brand new document. You've typed on it, it's going to ask you to save it as a new document. So that template is now saved, so you can go and reuse it over and over again. So now you can go ahead and type. Now you might be thinking, well, everything is grayed out, so actually it looks a bit funny, but when you come to print it, or when you come to save it as a PDF, it will look perfect, and I'll show you that at the end. So I'm a big fan of typing into text boxes because they give you that flexibility. So if I was now going to insert the body of my letter, I'd use text boxes. So again, insert, text box, draw text box, select the text box there, I'd get rid of the outline and also the shape fill, and then I would fill in my details. I'm going to copy and paste this text box again for the date. Now what's really great about these text boxes again is you can line things up. So I can line everything up with my company logo here. So if I want to nudge everything over, I can do that. I can make the text in the middle smaller or narrower or wider to line up with that company logo. I can move it up or down really easily, and it's just so easy to customize it. If it doesn't quite look right, we can move it over. We can move it over to the center. If you want this text box perfectly lined up in the center, go to Shape Format, Align, Align to Center, and that will be perfectly lined up for you. Make sure the date's lined up with the top one here. Select them both, Align, Align to Top, and then those are perfectly lined up as well. So now if I go ahead and save that as a PDF, File, Save As, I'm going to put this on my desktop and then go to File Format, PDF, and then Export. And then when I open that PDF, let's just reduce the size of it. You can see that all the colours are not greyed out and it looks absolutely perfect. That will be exactly the same when you go to print it, and all the colours will be vibrant. So I hope that's helped you today. If it has, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.